Good afternoon, everybody. It's 1:30. I'd like to call the meeting of the Traffic and Transportation Commission for October 20th, 2027, 2025 to order. We'll go ahead and start with roll call. Go to Commissioner Varnell.
Here.
Commissioner Littlefield is not available. Go to Commissioner Carnes.
Here.
Commissioner Hale.
Here, sir.
Commissioner Martinez.
Here.
Commissioner Wynn.
Here.
Commissioner George is not available, and Commissioner Cornett.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. And I have a motion concerning the approval of the Traffic and Transportation Commission meeting minutes for August 18, 2025.
Move to approve.
Move to approve by Commissioner Wynn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hale. Do we have any discussion? Motion to approve the minutes by Commissioner Wynn, seconded by Commissioner Hale. Votes, please. Six are in favor, one abstained. Item has passed. Okay, we go to item 3, reports from Traffic Services Division in the Municipal Counselor's Office. Sir?
All right, you got our standing reports before you. On the unfunded signals list, you will notice that there are several different colors used on this month's agenda. The colored text used for the certain signals indicates that these are now part of a funded program, whether it be through MAPS or the recently passed 2025 general obligation bond. So in the next report that you get at your next meeting, only the signals in the black text will remain. So because those are the ones that are still remaining to be funded by some form of city program. And then you've got our most recent list of speed cushions. The most recent installation was done earlier this month. And other than that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have on the staff reports.
I just want to say that's a lot of good work by the city staff on getting those traffic signals funded and planned and all that kind of thing. To only have, what, 3 left or something?
I believe there's 4
Could you go back there?
remain unfunded.
Could you go back to the traffic signal one? What's left there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To only have 5 left, that's a lot of good work.
Well, couldn't have done it without the vote of the people.
Well, there you go. Money does help. All right. Anybody have anything for staff? Okay. Council's office, do you have anything, sir?
Nothing from the municipal council.
All right, thank you very much. There's no items in the consent docket, so we go to item 5, 5A, voting for next year's chairman or president, whatever you call me, chairman and vice chair.
Yeah, chair and vice chair.
Chair and vice chair. Do we have a motion concerning the chairman and vice chair for next year?
I make a motion to nominate you, Mr. Kula, as the chair and Mr. Hale as the vice chair.
Okay, do we have a second on that?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Varnell. The motion was made by Commissioner Carnes. Do we have any talk? Or remember, if you raise your hand, you now become the person.
I do want to say, outstanding job, really appreciate it. You guys do take it again.
Thank you very much. Who motioned? Carnes. Commissioner Carnes. All right, so we have a motion for Kula to be the chairman and Hale to be the vice chair by Commissioner Carnes, seconded by Commissioner Varnell, and we're ready to vote. Item passed with all 7 in favor. Okay, we go on now to item 5B, William Warner, all-way stop control at North St. Clair Avenue and Northwest 43rd Street. Sir, if I could have your name and address, you'll have up to 5 minutes.
Bill Warner, William Warner, 3601 Northwest 43rd Street.
Yes, sir. Do you have any comments or?
Oh, I didn't know when you wanted me to.
Oh, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Take a deep breath and go.
We bought our home sight unseen while we were in Tennessee, December of 2021. So when we got there, we hadn't seen the house. It's always a brilliant move to buy a house without seeing it first, but it turned out really well for us. I have a front porch that is 50 feet wide. There are, well, you can't really see it from there, but I started going out on the front porch and looking and watching, and some of our neighbors, you remember Bewitched? Well, these are the real Kravitzes here, Abner and Gladys, because they watch everything. They know what's going on. So we would have discussions and talk about everything under the sun, and then all of a sudden a car would just go zooming by. And that would stop us and go, wow, that's interesting. Turns out it's to avoid the intersection of 39th and Portland. So if you're coming in from the north, you would turn east on 44th Street, go down to St. Clair, turn right, and you've got 6 blocks of uninterrupted, no traffic light, no speed limit sign, no nothing, till you make the curve, and you go eventually down to Newport, to the service road, and then you get on 39th going that way. And the opposite is coming back, if you get on the service road to Newport, to St. Clair, and then you've got 6 blocks of how fast you want to go, then to 44th Street, then you go back west to Portland. So I was wondering why does this happen? Because it should be, to me, it makes sense to have some way of to cause these folks to slow down. So I thought, well, how about a stop sign? Because we are right in the middle of this 6-block area. If they have a stop sign, they have to, at least, I think it's a suggestion they stop, but it'd be a nice idea if they did, and then they can start up again. All right. So let's talk about during the school year. I noticed that the report I received was dated June 5th through the 9th. That's not when the school is in session, as far as I know. But the report said the average speed was somewhere between 21 and 25 miles an hour on St. Clair. And the top speed from June 5th through 9th was 37 miles an hour. I don't understand how that apparatus got to that 37. I'm not an expert at speed, but I know what 37 is. I also know what 50 is. So this, I don't know what apparatus they used. We did have a counter of some sort on 43rd Street recently, and actually I thought the apparatus had been stolen because they were gone and the hose was still there. And finally I saw the guy from the city. I went over and said, I'm sorry that this thing was stolen. Do they have copper or something in these little boxes? He says, no, I came by and picked it up. It started raining. So I thought, I'll come back and pick the hose up later. Oh, so that was how that was resolved. But I don't know, I watch a lot, the Kravitzes watch a lot, and we see, I don't know what apparatus was used to determine this speed of 21 to 25, top speed of 37. That's not what I could observe, nor my neighbors. I have 7 chairs. Sometimes we get 5 people there, and we'll talk, and then it's always interrupted by zoom. All right, let's talk about the school buses. They come down 43rd Street. There are 3 in the morning from Putnam City. There's 1 from Oklahoma City. When they get to St. Clair from 43rd Street, the 3 from Putnam City head south. They will stop sometimes on St. Clair, sometimes they go back in the neighborhood, but they always come back to 43rd Street and head west to Portland. Meanwhile, the Oklahoma City school bus will come down 43rd Street, turn north on St. Clair, do its business, then come back to 43rd Street, head west to Portland again. But I have viewed several times cars that are in such a hurry. It's like I have got to get going. I don't want to go to 43rd and 39th and Portland, and I don't want, it's sort of like, pardon my expression, it's their crack. Just anything to avoid it and get going as fast as I can. They will literally go by the school buses with the traffic signal light out blinking. They just zoom by it anyway. I've seen that happen 3 times.
Sir, if I could ask you to summarize, please? Your
Oh, wait, 5 minutes?
time's almost up.
Okay, well, I would just pray that we could have a all-way stop sign at 43rd and St. Clair. I think it would resolve a lot of issues as far as speeding and so forth, and I thank you for your time.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody else wanted to speak on this item? Okay, staff, can we have your input?
All right, you got our comments before you. To answer Mr. Warner's questions regarding our speed studies, we use a device that's known as manufactured and sold under the label of Black Cat. It is a radar-based device, and so it will do traffic volume collection, and it will do speed analysis for us. Looking ahead in the agenda, there's an item 5E in which we use those devices extensively in the Heritage Hills areas, and that particular device recorded speeds as high as 74 miles an hour within residential areas, so they are pretty accurate. So just in that time period in early June, there just weren't any high-speed events to be recorded. This particular location, Northwest 43rd Street's carrying just under 1,000 vehicles per day, and on St. Clair, it's running at just under 200 per day. This is a typical residential intersection. Both roadways are 26 feet wide. 43rd Street is currently yield controlled. We ran a MUTCD all-way stop control analysis on it. It does not currently have a crash history to support using all-way stop control, and it doesn't currently have traffic volumes. So action on this item is going to be at the discretion of the commission. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
All right, thank you. Can I have a motion concerning item 5B?
Motion for approval, since
Motion
Rob's
to-
not here.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Varnell. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Martinez. Do we have any talk on item 5B? Yes, sir.
So not opposed to the stop sign, I think that makes sense. It really feels like a mini roundabout makes more sense there. Right? Just to, in my opinion, looking at it, I guess the question is that something that the city helps pursue at all, or is that something that would only come through the ASAP program?
I'm sorry, what you said it might be a what?
Yeah, I was asking if a mini roundabout made maybe more sense there. You guys might have seen those around like 10th and Walker, where it doesn't have a stop control, but it's got a little bit of a traffic calming device that has people kind of go around it instead of do a straight line through.
Not a speed hump, but it's a diversion.
Yes.
No, it's not part of the application. In this particular case, we are working with the form of traffic control that was requested by Mr. Warner and supported by his neighbors. I mean, there are times when we do suggest looking at the alternative speed abatement program, but that comes depending on whether or not they've got like an organized neighborhood association. That does come with a cost, whereas a traffic control change like this doesn't come at any cost, any direct cost to any of the residents.
But let me just, for us to just talk about an intersection this size, as far as the normal size of the roads, and would a traffic circle be able to be put in there just and still allow traffic to go and all that?
I think it should be possible. I know that I have seen examples of many roundabouts fit within intersections of this size in the Midwest City area. So it is possible, but like I said, the application before you today is for stop control. This
Right.
neighborhood may come back later, and they could potentially request things like speed cushions elsewhere on 43rd Street or maybe St. Clair or one of the other streets in the neighborhood, depending on where they perceive the need.
But that's a great example that it could have been part of the ASAP program, that they could have come and then they would just be cost share with the city for a traffic circle,
Right,
if
they could
that's what
have.
they would have wanted.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Are you all familiar with the ASAP program, the speed abatement program? So this commission developed a program and it went into effect 2 years ago-ish. And it's specific to getting people to slow down in neighborhood streets. And so it is speed cushions or driver feedback signs. And a lot of times when we're not trying to control the movement of traffic by putting in a stop sign, we're really trying to control speed. Then that's what we suggest pursuing. The problem is, the opportunity, I guess. The city pays for half of it and then the neighborhood pays for the other half, or the people who are petitioning or something along that line. So what Mr. Chai is saying is, because you don't have an HOA, then generally with HOAs it can be part of something that their neighborhood funds. Yeah, so they can't, right. So it's more, it would be on the onus of the people who are petitioning to pay for half of whatever it is. So that is something that you could pursue in the long term, if that is something that you're interested in, is getting speed cushions along either route. But in this case, I think that it does make a lot of sense to break up that thoroughfare in general anyway.
Okay. Very good comments. Any other talk about item 5B? Okay. We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Varnell, seconded by Commissioner Martinez. Votes, please. Item has passed with all 7 in favor. Okay, we go on now to 5C, Cynthia Sickle, all-way stop control at South Check Hall Road and Southwest 119th Street. Hi, ma'am. Let's see, do I have one? Yeah, I have one of these for you, so we're good. If I could have your name and address, and you have up to 5 minutes.
Yes, and it's Cynthia Cycle, 13233 Southwest 9th Street. Hello again, and thank you so much for allowing me to speak today. Before we talk about the always stop sign on the agenda today, I would like to share a little bit about you, why you're seeing me again, and guess what? You're going to see me again. I'm kind of like the ever-ready bunny in the way of Ward 3. I married into a large family, the Cycles, who have been part of the Yukon Ward 3 area since the 1950s. In 1954, my father-in-law, Jim Cycle, opened the Redbud Grocery, which was smart because he had 9 children. And since then, the family has grown. I'm truly blessed to have lots of family and friends in Ward 3. I'm retired, but before I retired, I worked for the federal government. I understand processes, portals, formal submitting of requests, how to do it, all of the things that smooth wear out other people. So all my family and friends, who are you going to call when you got a problem, and who do you want to talk to? That's me. Today I represent my family and friends that live in Southwest 119th and the Checkall area. And I apologize, if anybody could cause a hard freeze and get rid of the ragweed, I really would be thankful. I'll buy you all a Sonic drink, Route 44. Recently, neighbors in Ward 3 reached out to me with their concerns about this intersection. They claim they've tried to get it fixed for years, but here again, they don't understand how to formally submit. They may have talked to their friends and said, oh yeah, I think I know someone that can help. Today, those concerned citizens would like to have always stop signs at the intersection of Southwest 119th and Checkall Road. Currently, this intersection has a one-way, which is east-west. It also has some dangerous blind spots, and I bet all of you have heard about the weeds growing and how just about every intersection in the country area, there are some issues with this. To avoid driving through Mustang and 152, guess what? Using 119th, going Check Hall or Cemetery Road, this is a great way to get around having to go through that area. So it increases the traffic down there. In addition, it's a great way to get to Highway 4. And so they use this area a lot. Now, I'm not saying that people speed through there, respectfully, but when you get out towards the country, you start using country rules and country habits, which causes them to increase their speed. But I never do that. Just want you to know that. I was told by my friends that you monitored during the summer, and that concerned them greatly because now we're in school, and there are very set times that there's an uptick in traffic with young drivers, parents taking kids to school, and school buses that are in this area. And there are buses for the littles that go through there 2 to 4 times a day. As I indicated, it's a direct route to Highway 4, and this causes the uptick in traffic. The residential development out there, I think you all are aware of that. And just yesterday, one of them called me by accident and said, you know, I nearly got hit again because they were coming east-west, and so they stopped, but they're inching out. You know, you get real close because you can't see, and they got out in the intersection and a car was blowing through. Now, the bad part, if you don't know this, is when you blow through, you're going south on Check Hall Road, you go from asphalt to gravel. And that's not good because some of them end up in the ditches, but they're too proud to tell anybody, and they definitely aren't going to call it in. So the farmers have assisted quite a few in that area to get out of that embarrassing predicament. As a final note, I want you to know I reached out to those that had asked me to file the formal request. And I left a voicemail telling them it's today. I plan to be here to represent them. If they could come, great. And she called back and she said, I've got a doctor's appointment. You know you don't cancel those. And she said, but I came to tears because finally somebody is interested in the farming community and willing to help us out. So it's not just about traffic counts. Whether it's 1,500 or 15, the issue remains the same. This intersection is scary, it's dangerous, and stressful. I hope you will agree with me today and vote to have those 2 little stop signs put in this area. I thank you again, and like I say, I'll see you again soon.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else want to speak on 5C? Okay, staff?
All right, you got our comments before you. This particular intersection, when analyzed using the MUTCD's 5 warrants for considering all-way stop control, does not have sufficient volume or a crash experience to meet any of the particular warrants. There is a little bit of a sight distance issue for the south approach, I believe, looking east, but it is a seasonal issue because it's driven by basically unmaintained overgrowth in the right-of-way. If it were not for that, all the approaches based on the posted speed limits would pass sight distance conditions. All-way stop-controlled intersections are common and not unexpected at rural arterial section line road intersections in Oklahoma City. And from a traffic control consistency standpoint, the use of all-way stop control at this location shouldn't violate driver expectation. When we were out on site doing a review, we noticed that there's no street lighting present at this particular intersection, so we put an order with CK Energy to have a street light installed at this corner. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have on this staff report.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion concerning item 5C?
I'll make a motion to approve. I just want to say that that whole area is still growing a lot, so I think it'd be smart for us to be proactive and put that in at this time.
A motion to approve by Commissioner Carnes. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Cornett. Any discussion? Okay, motion to approve by Commissioner Carnes, second by Commissioner Cornett, and we're ready to vote. Item has passed with all 7 in favor. We'll see you next time, ma'am.
Take care.
Okay, we go on now to item 5D. Kayla Bird, PEPTOE, Freese and Nichols, Inc., signalized mid-block pedestrian crossing, Southwest 15th Street, approximately 1,760 feet west of the west curb line of South Sarah Road. Do we have anybody here to speak on this item? Okay, staff, can we have your input?
All right, you've got our comments before you. Along this particular section of Southwest 15th Street, it is being widened to a 5-lane section, so the roadway is going to will have a curb-to-curb width of about 60 feet. This signalized mid-block crossing is currently under construction as it was included in the federal aid plans for this particular location. We did do pedestrian crossing studies on 2 different days earlier this month, and we observed no pedestrians crossing Southwest 15th Street at this location. There is a posted crossing guard at the location, so that would not be a reason for there not being any pedestrian activity. Action on this item is going to be at the discretion of the commission.
All right, do we have a motion concerning item 5D?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Carnes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Martinez. Any discussion? Okay, motion to approve by Commissioner Carnes, second by Commissioner Martinez. Votes, please. Item has passed with all 7 in favor. We go on now to item 5E, Traffic Services Division, change the speed limit on Hudson Avenue between Northwest 23rd Street and Northwest 11th Street from 30 miles per hour to 25, and set a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit on Hudson Avenue between Northwest 11th Street and Interstate Highway 40. I assume you're our person?
I am the applicant.
Okay.
Staff is
what's your-
submitting this. I'm going to read the history section for you because it basically tells the reason why we presented this. But on July 16th of 2001, the commission considered and approved the conversion of 13 roadways in the downtown core area from one-way to two-way streets. This action was the first in a series of cases over the next few years in which all one-way streets in downtown Oklahoma City were converted back to two-way operation. Walker and Hudson, which operated as a one-way pair between Northwest 6th and Northwest 13th Streets, were among the first converted to two-way operation in 2001. Now, historically, the speed limit on Hudson, referenced in commission case reports, was informed by the speed limit we knew which was posted on Walker Avenue. So in preparing always stop control reports at Hudson Avenue and Northwest 8th Street, it was found that there were no speed limit signs posted on Hudson from 23rd Street south through the downtown core to its dead end at I-40. In the absence of speed limit signs, staff researched commission actions and work orders to get speed limit signs posted on Hudson Avenue. As part of this research, staff located only a single record for Hudson Avenue, and this record was dated August 17th of 1965 and was for the installation of 30 mile per hour speed limits in the 1200 and 2200 blocks of Hudson Avenue. This block range covers essentially the section of Hudson Avenue where it passes through the Heritage Hills and Mesta Park additions. Staff research, work orders, and traffic commission actions on speed limits from the presence to the commission's inception in 1948 and found no other speed limit records for Hudson Avenue from 23rd Street through the downtown core. So this particular request is seeking to normalize the speed limit on Hudson where it goes through the residential areas, which would be dropping it from 30 to 25, which is what's expected, and then to set what we believe to be a safe and a reasonable speed limit on the remainder of Hudson as it crosses through the downtown core. On page 4 of your staff report, you'll see that we conducted a series of studies. We used the Black Cat counters, and we found a 50th percentile speed ranging anywhere from 21 to 25 miles per hour throughout the entire corridor. The most recent guidance that we've found on the subject of setting urban speed limits on roadways of this type is to basically lean more towards using the 50th percentile speed, that observed speed, than the 85th. And so it's for these reasons, staff is making a request to have the speed limit posted, reduced on Hudson Avenue from 23rd to 11th, from 30 to 25, and to set a 25-mile-an-hour limit on Hudson where it makes its way all the way through downtown to where it dead ends just on the north side of I-40. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have on this request.
All right, do we have a motion concerning 5E?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Martinez. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Cornett. Do we have any discussion? Okay, motion to approve by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Cornett. Ready to vote? Item has passed with all 7 in favor. We go on now to item 5F and 5G. I'm going to read them both in because they kind of say the same kind of thing, but we'll vote on each one separately. Brandon Bundy, PE, Assistant Public Works Director. Let's see, which one is this one? This one is 5F, which is the removal of the traffic signal at South Clausen Boulevard and Southwest 3rd Street, and replace it with east-west stop control on Southwest 3rd Street. And then 5G is to remove the traffic signal at South Clausen Boulevard and Southwest 4th Street and replace it with east-west stop control on Southwest 4th Street. Sir, if I could have your name and address, you got 5 minutes.
Yes, Brandon Bundy, Assistant Public Works Director, 420 West Main. I just want to say that previous item, a lot of staff time went into it, and it should be applauded how much effort that went into for really not a lot of acknowledgement. So I do want to take the opportunity to acknowledge Mr. Chai and his staff for doing that. These 2 items are kind of a follow along of a previous item I did this summer where we removed a traffic signal. And these 2 particular intersections once carried a lot of traffic. With the movement of I-40 to the south, where it is currently, those traffic signals really don't see any traffic at all. I asked Mr. Chai to do a study, and it came back as it's not warranted. It's not even warranted for an all-way stop sign. So just to kind of give you an idea of that. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to really concentrate our staff time on what matters, the traffic signals that are impact to our citizens. These 2 are not, and so they are a distraction to our regular workday. So I'm available for any questions.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Staff, do you have anything extra to add?
No, you got our comments before you, and as Mr. Bundy indicated, neither one of these intersections will meet any of the traffic signal warrants. They don't have a collision history, and they certainly do not have volumes to support retaining the use of signalization. I'm sure at one point in time when Clausen Boulevard passed through the area, and this was probably a much more heavily used area, it may have warranted signalized control. Maybe not based on volumes, but maybe to accommodate the industrial uses in the area. But at this point in time, the volumes on both roads are typically 500 vehicles per day or less. So neither one will come anywhere close to meeting any signal warrants. And for those reasons, they would be decent candidates for considering removal of the traffic signals and replacing them with side street stop control. Ordinarily, you could look at a location that's got balanced volumes for all-way stop control, but Clausen Boulevard has got 4 through travel lanes and a center left turn lane. And our experience is that stop control on a roadway like that leaves some drivers in a somewhat, they're not certain as to which movement should go first, especially in the north-south direction, because typically at a working signal, we'll provide a left turn phase which leads the through phases. But at a stop controlled intersection, state law and municipal code prescribed to the notion that through traffic has a right-of-way and left turns have to yield, so it almost operates in reverse, which is why these locations have been recommended for just side street stop control on the 2-lane minor roads. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have on the applications.
All right, that's some good education, thanks. We'll go ahead and go with item 5F first. Do we have a motion for 5F?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Martinez. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Cornett. Any discussion on 5F?
When we got together to talk about the last signal that we were removing, one of the things that we talked about was maybe a survey of the area around it to kind of see what they thought. Have we got in place any kind of protocol for that yet?
Yes, actually, I was waiting for that question.
Good.
Our plan was to do a postcard similar to what we do for other outreach. There was miscommunication. We couldn't get it out in time because of the mail. But Mr. Chai's staff went around and hand-delivered these flyers to all the businesses surrounding. It included a QR code, and they could leave their feedback. They were also notified of this meeting here. So we are still a work in progress, but we did hear you the last time, and we're going to improve from here on out. And were there any comments?
We received no public comment on it.
So
That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, any other talk on 5F?
Just a general question, with what's going to happen with that street just in the long term, given that it is a 5-lane road and it is supporting 400 cars a day, is there anything that the city can do or wants to do to make it right-sized, or is that just so expensive that it's just not going to happen in the long term? Anybody want to answer?
Yeah, well, what could be done is doing a road diet on it with stripe, maybe similar to a bike lane. I'm not sure if it doesn't go south of I-40, so it doesn't really
It doesn't
cause a
inspect
benefit.
in that neighborhood, yeah.
And it's concrete, and then there's gutters. So there'll be a considerable effort to move those gutters in to basically put green space back. And I could see that happening during a rebuild of the road itself if it deteriorates enough.
Gotcha. But
That
with
would
400 cars, it's going to take a while to deteriorate.
Yes.
Nobody's
Yes.
driving on it. Okay. I appreciate it. I was just curious.
Yeah, because we're always worried about going bigger. We don't know about going smaller. All right, so any other talk on item 5F? Motion to approve by Commissioner Martinez, seconded by Commissioner Cornett. Ready to vote? Item has passed with all 7 in favor. We now go to item 5G. We've already had comments. We've already had staff comments. Do we have a motion for 5G?
Motion to approve.
Approved by Commissioner Martinez. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Carnes. Any discussion on this one? If there is, we just play back the video, right? All right, so we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Martinez, 5G, and seconded by Commissioner Carnes. Votes, please. Item has passed with all 7 in favor. Thank you very
Thank you.
much, sir. Okay, we now go to item 5H, Corey Hubert, Embark Parking Services Manager, to remove metered parking on the south side of West Park Avenue from approximately 50 feet west to 94 feet west of the west curb line of North Robinson Avenue in favor of a passenger and commercial loading zone. Sir, if I can have your name and address, you got up to 5 minutes.
Corey Hubert, 431 West Main Street, Suite B. Busy intersection, Robinson and Park. It's evolved a bit. We find the need to remove 2 metered parking spaces and add passenger commercial loading zones for the surrounding businesses would be a better fit for the community. On the same note, in item I, the following item, desire to remove 3 paid parking spaces that are 2-hour time limited for 3 15-minute time limited parking spaces to accommodate for the area to drop off and pick up small items in the areas.
All right, in the staff report, it talked about some report that recommended doing things like this to take them away. Is that this one, or is that?
No, in this particular case, well, actually, these were presented in the order in which they were because when, in case 5H, when they're removing a pair of parking or metered parking spaces in favor of a loading zone, which is not considered a space for parking, this particular block should technically, under PROAG guidelines, have 2 reserved spaces for the physically disabled.
Right.
This will reduce the number of spaces to 25 on the block, and so it'll actually make it compliant.
Okay, that's what it was.
Right.
PROAG, okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
You bet.
Staff, do you have any further input?
No, these items are being presented by Embark, and I believe they're in response to a request from local businesses to provide additional curb loading spaces for passenger and commercial purposes in 5H, and then for short-term non-metered parking along Robinson Avenue, and that's what's being presented in item 5I.
Okay. Do we have a motion for 5H?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve 5H from Commissioner Martinez. Any second? Second by Commissioner Hale. Any discussion on 5H? Okay, motion to approve 5H from Commissioner Martinez, seconded by Commissioner Hale. Votes, please. Item has passed with all 7 in favor. We go to 5I. 5I is listed up on your screen there. And we've already talked about it a little bit. We already had the presentation. Staff already made some comments about it. Do we have a motion concerning 5I?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Martinez. Do we have a second?
I'll
Second by Commissioner Hale. Any discussion about 5I? Okay, motion to approve 5I by Commissioner Martinez, seconded by Commissioner Hale. Ready to vote, please. Item has passed with all 7 in favor. Thank you, sir. Okay, we go on now, comments from citizens. Anybody out there want to talk to us? Okay, very good. Item 7, reports from other traffic commissioners, et cetera. We're going to hold off on Commissioner Varnell to the end. We'll go to Commissioner Carnes.
I do want to share a story about the city. When the city does something good, I think we need to let everybody know. On a Friday afternoon late, I had a constituent contact me about a road hazard, and there was a huge drop-off on Highway 4 between the Turnpike and Yukon Parkway. So I went over there, looked at it, took pictures, and then I sent it to the Action Center. And then they contacted me on Monday morning saying they got the report. And then within an hour or two, it was fixed. And I was just really impressed that they got it done so quickly. And ironically, I got the report today that it's been fixed, even though I already knew it was fixed. So, but good job on the city getting that done so quickly. And it was a pretty dangerous situation. You can see where cars are going off into the ditch and actually tearing up the road because the short cars were hitting and tearing up the pavement. So we're good to go. That's all I have.
Okay, we go to Commissioner Hale. Nothing to report, sir. Commissioner Martinez.
Nothing at this time.
Commissioner Wynn.
Nothing here.
Commissioner Cornett.
I also have something to thank Stewart for. I contacted him after hours one day and said, traffic light is cycling through at one of the new traffic signals by John Rex, and it was going, like one car would go through and it would turn, and then one car would go through and then it would turn. So I sent him a message to him and it was fixed by Monday morning. So no, thanks for getting on that. I guess it wasn't even Monday morning. I think it was the next morning it was already fixed. You sent
Right.
out somebody emergency-wise, so no.
Yeah, it was fixed within probably 45 minutes of your report.
Yeah, thank you. And then also, thank you. We're all going to say thank you eventually, but thank you for your time. And whenever I came on, you were kind of helping me through and guiding me on how all of this all worked. And I really appreciate your time and your service to this commission.
Okay, staff, do you have anything to close out?
Well,
Well, I'll have,
okay, you've got this other reminder. I have nothing else to add for this meetings.
okay. Counselor's office?
Nothing from us.
Okay. Captain, do you have anything from the police?
No report from the police, no.
Okay, thank you. There's a couple things that I have. Staff leadership is going to be on leave, and also with some staff man-in, it's going to be hard to get out there and do some staff work. And there's only 2 small items that would have been brought up anyway. So if everybody's okay, we're going to cancel the November meeting and just have the Christmas meeting, or the December meeting. Okay, so if everybody's okay with that, could you please let the city clerk know so she can post that, or so they can post that correctly?
It'll be done today.
All right, thank you very much. Talking about the December meeting, just remember that's the ugly sweater meeting. Don't forget to ask authorization. Huh? Yeah, that's right. There you go. That's what he did last year. He had to ask. We all have bosses. I also want to go on and say the city staff does great things in our area, Choctaw Road and I-40, and all around there in the neighborhood and Choctaw Road, et cetera. There's a lot of things. And you just type up a email, send it to the Action Center. You get notified of the work order. You get notified when it gets sent to the office, and then something happens and it's done, and then you get notified it's over, and it just happens pretty easily. And if there's an emergency, they jump pretty quick. And there was one on Choctaw Road, south of 29th, which is city, Oklahoma City stuff. There was probably 7 potholes just started, the top layer. And of course, we all know once you get the top layer, it's going to get in there. And within about a month, all 7 of them, you could see that they got fixed. So, you know, good stuff like that happens out there. So, the last thing, does anybody have anything else before we get to the last thing? The last thing is Commissioner Varnell, this is his last meeting. He's moving on to greater things. 6 years on the Traffic Commission. We just want to say thank you, and we'd like to give you the honor of the last words for this meeting.
You know, I like to talk. Thank you to all fellow current and past commissioners. Just step up and serve. I get it now. Thank you to all the city staff. They think this 45-minute meeting in this case just happens. It doesn't, and we recognize that up here. So thank you guys. Thank you to Mayor Holt, Councilman Bradley Carter, former Councilman James Greiner. I probably had the same conversation as you guys did with your councilman, in my case 6 years ago, when he called and said, I need a traffic commissioner. And what did you say? What the heck's the traffic commission? And just like you guys did, I said, sure, I'll be happy to serve, and I'm so glad I did. I've learned a lot. Well, as this, for the last time as a commissioner, but hopefully not last time on a commission, this is it for me for 2 reasons, and you all have to know why. One, I bought a house a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago, in Ward 8, so I'm moving here pretty soon. And I had let the councilman know about a year ago that I would not be going on past this anyway. So he was kind enough to take time and look for somebody to replace me, which is my neighbor, Alan Norton, who's out there. So please say hi to him, or I'll have him introduce himself before. He hasn't been approved yet by the city council, so who knows? Knowing there's not a meeting next month, I bet you he'll be here in December. And so will I. I'm going to come for my ugly sweater. Absolutely. If you've seen my closet, which none of you probably have, I've got lots of good sweaters that I can wear. But I'm thankful to learn about reversed angle parking. Not really, but learned a lot about roundabouts, and today I learned about a road diet. So thank you I never heard that term before. So this has been a lot of fun. I'm glad to serve. Hopefully there'll be other things in my future with the city. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. All right, any other business for the Traffic and Transportation Commission? All right, we're adjourned.